And now, around the world and around the corner, it's the David Bowers Awards, bringing the best in indie music to millions of listeners worldwide with your host, the David Bowers. We've got a fantastic lineup of guests, as well as our engineer extraordinaire, Nick the Geek, our entire crew here at the Asylum, and me. I'm John Bon Jovial. And now, here's the voice of indie music, the David Bowers.
Indeed, you are the indubitable and legendary John Bon Jovial. Thank you so much, John. And
you're welcome.
So great to be back here, and just having this inanimate object stuck in my face that I talk into, and all those people out there hear me, and it's just great to be back, folks. Thank you so much for being here, and I just can't express my joy. I mean, yeah, we've had another go round, as most of you know, with the after effects of that insidious COVID virus. And believe me, to those of you who scoff at it or think that it's a joke or a political ploy or whatever, all I can say to you is you haven't had it. And the worst part is how it comes back and bites you in the butt months later, because I had it the end of July, first part of August, as most of you know, and the end of October, right at Halloween, I wound up back in the hospital again. And then here last week, which would have been the first week of December, I'm back in there again. And let me tell you, it's no fun. I've learned that not only is the virus no fun, but breathing is beautiful. And without belaboring the point and, becoming too emotional about the whole thing, I do want to thank, of course, my family and all my supporters first. I love them all, and I thank them for standing by me throughout this whole thing. And sorry for the worries I put them through. But also, I want to thank you, the listeners, my followers and supporters on social media and online. I love you all. And the notes and messages and emails and posts and everything, I have tried to at least read and acknowledge every single one. I couldn't possibly answer them all, and I hope you will forgive me for that, because I really, there were just too many, but I did, honestly. If there's a check mark that says that I put a like on that, I saw it. And I thank you all so very much. And I want to put out a special thank you to a couple of groups locally, local paramedics and Tempe paramedics, who sadly have gotten, they've been here often enough now that they know my name. When they come to the door and say, "Hi, Dave, sit down," you're too well known. But they did a fantastic job. Just calming me down and getting me breathing was a job in itself. And also, I want to thank a fantastic crew, support staff, doctors and nurses at Banner Desert Hospital in Mesa, who got me through it, and wonderfully, thankfully, have me feeling better now than I felt way back before I got the virus originally back at the end of July. A wonderful job, regardless of what happens from here on out. You gave me a new lease on life, and I plan on taking advantage of it and running with the ball until I can't run no more. So thank you all so very much. I love you, each and every one of you. And that goes to my Levin family, John and his family, for all their support, because as far as I'm concerned, John's more than a co-host and an old friend. John's family too. How goes by you, John Levin?
Well, not too bad. I got to tell you, and not to belabor the point, but thank God you're okay. We have been so worried. I was sick with worry over you. For those of you that do not know, David and I came up in the Tampa radio market together. Matter of fact, I met David when I got one of my first commercial gigs at WQYK, Tampa, St. Petersburg.
I remember that.
He was, you were doing, as I recall, you were doing evenings, and I got hired as a part-time announcer on the weekends. And a matter of fact, you turned me on to Waylon Jennings. I'd never heard of him before. And the very first song of his that you played for me was a song called This Time.
Yeah.
And to this day, it is still my favorite Waylon Jennings tune. But I digress. I'm
glad
so
I turned you
grateful
on
to the
to a good
paramedics
one.
for the. Yeah, I am so grateful to the Tempe paramedics. I am grateful to the hospital staff. And, of course, Sandy, who has had to endure all of this with her emotions through all of this, knowing that, is my husband coming home? And thank goodness you did. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to kill us off this quickly. You're going to have to contend with the David Bowers Awards for one long damn time. That's all I can tell you.
Well, I'm sure not ready to give it up yet. And being here today is proof of that. We, like I said, thank you all so very much. It's a blessing. I love what I do. I love the people that we work with, and it's a blessing. It's a gift to be able to continue doing it, and I will continue as long as the good Lord lets me. So enough said there. We've got a fun show today, which was kind of a patchwork. We managed to pull together from a show that we didn't do last week for obvious reasons, and a sort of a regularly scheduled guest that was supposed to be with us this week, and we found out at the last minute that we would be able to do this. As a matter of fact, I think I started, as soon as I got out of the hospital Friday, I started trying to tie up loose ends and see if maybe we could make this happen. And here it is. We are here. We are happy. We are getting ready for the holidays. Of course, our annual 2-week hiatus will be coming up. We always take a couple of weeks and give you guys a break because, well, everybody's playing Christmas music. I'm not going to be a Scrooge and not play Christmas music, but by the same token, you guys have got holidays, you've got families, which are far more important than sitting listening to us talk music. And we have got, I will tell you this much, we have got a dynamite show lined up to start the new year. We got something old, something new. We got a legendary rock star from the 50s and 60s, and we've got a heck of a guitarist from the 2000s, and they're going to be on the first show of the new year, which will be January 3rd. So you can watch for that. Sunday, January 3rd, January 2nd on WROC Rochester Free Radio. So watch for that. It's going to be a dynamite show. And I can tell you that both guests I know from varying degrees. The guitarist guest is one that's been on the show before. He's a heck of a guy. He's got some new music coming out that is dynamite. And the star from the 50s and 60s is a gentleman that I met back at a show in upstate New York when I was in high school. And I have been trying for several years to get him to come on the show. We were finally able to make the connection, make it happen. And good Lord willing, we're going to have one heck of a show January 3rd. Don't miss it. You'll love it. Today, we've got a great group of Americana musicians coming in. They have a new album out, which we will be talking about and playing a couple of tracks from. And first, we have our recurring episode of Rockstar 101, which is our recurring feature where we get people from the music business or related businesses that work with musicians, indie musicians, emerging artists, up-and-coming artists, and talk about what it takes to be a success in today's music market. And anybody with half a brain knows that's changed a lot in the last year. It's not only hard, it's become harder. There are new challenges. There are new things being done. There are new developments being explored and new ways to present music and the artists, because you can't go out and do all the live shows, and the live shows are the meat and potatoes. They're the payroll for these artists. And when you can't do that, you can't get a paycheck, and that's not a good thing. So we're going to be talking to him first. His name is Mr. Durrell Part, and he is standing by Let's see if we can get Darrell in here right now. We introduce him, learn a little bit about him, and we'll talk about what it takes to be a star in music today on Rockstar 101. Darrell, are you there?
Hey, I'm here. How you guys doing today?
Hey, we are doing just fine and dandy. So glad to have you here with us today.
Awesome. I'm thankful that anytime I get a chance to talk about my passion, which is helping independent artists, it doesn't take much. I'm there.
Well, fantastic. I ran across you online, which I know is a good thing. We all hope to be discovered. Right. And I started reading some of your articles, some of your, I hesitated saying motivational because you're not a motivational speaker that just gives up there and gives speeches. You've got a message which you can impart, and I get a serious feeling that a lot of it is from your personal experience, and you actually can help people to put their careers together. Tell us a little bit about Darrell Peart and where you're from.
Wonderful, guys. Well, so again, thank you guys for having me once again. My name is Darrell Peart. I am originally from Brooklyn, New York, but I have been raised in Orlando, Florida. So I heard you guys talking about the Tampa St. Pete, which is about an hour and 50 minutes from me, give or take a little bit.
Right.
So I run a company called Double N Management and Marketing Group. The Double N stands for Encourage and Inspire because I love to encourage and inspire people. I was born with a disability called cerebral palsy. I'm 35 years old, so it's all I really know. And for me, I always tell people the music industry found me. I didn't find it. And I just figured out that I love this thing. I love being able to help creatives because at the core of the entertainment industry, not just music, but the whole entertainment industry in general, is people and relationships. So if you can really navigate that space, I think you can be really successful in this business. And most importantly, I think the number one thing that's missing for indie artists is the lack of education that unfortunately you need in today's climate to be successful in the music business. I think people think the problem with our industry is that there's no prerequisite to be in this business, right? There's no, if you want to go to real estate, if you want to go sell houses, you got to go to real estate school, you got to get a real estate license. You want to practice law, you got to go get a law license, and so on and so forth. The thing with the entertainment industry is people think they just have talent, and they think they should be in the entertainment business as a professional because they have talent. And I'm like, unfortunately, it doesn't really work that way. I mean, for a lot of people, and this was before the internet, right? So now we have the internet. Now everybody thinks that they should be in this business.
Mm-hmm. And the scary part is they can be.
Right. Yes, exactly. So, but again, like I said, I've been to 6 different countries. I've been featured in 7 magazines. I've got a degree from Full Sail University where I was valedictorian of my class, advanced achiever of my class, won numerous awards there. And most of it, like I said, I just love to help artists navigate this space because here's what I figured out. I can make the biggest impact because I help artists at the beginning of their careers, right? Because what's the number one thing, guys, that's missing in today's space for artists? This thing we call artist development that most of these younger artists don't want to do anymore. Why? Because it takes too long for most of them. So they don't want to go through
not
the
glorious and exciting.
Absolutely. So, so in these days you have to, labels are no longer interested in developing artists. They want turnkey artists that already have the business sense. They already know what they're doing. They're already making money. Even if it's on a small scale, they're already doing something to let that label know you're worth investing into, or you're worth partnering with, right? So somebody like myself that has the knowledge and expertise, but I don't have celebrity clients. So if you're somebody whose only goal is to be famous, I really can't help you. I'm really not interested in helping you. If you're somebody that wants to go learn the business and wants to understand what it really takes to be successful in this industry, and you're willing to make an investment in yourself, because as we